Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this particular video I will be discussing the potential power of nuclear energy and also what could go wrong as a result of nuclear energy. You see, nuclear energy is the stabilizing point at which fusion occurs from two types of matter, which is essentially, if I was to demonstrate using this light, do you see how there is light matter, white matter, and gray matter, or dark matter, also known as the shadow, based off of this wall, reflected in the light at this point known as fusion, which is where the emission of light stems from. Now, if you were to condense said energy at a high enough potential compression or depression of the energetic matter, what you essentially create is a such densened state that the fusion either stabilizes and creates an infinite energy source. The only downside is it must now be sustained. And in order to sustain this energy, it begins to fuel itself and feed itself off of the surrounding space. And the surrounding space, if it creates an equilibrium, will then result in fusion within said energetic magnetic field, a complete equilibrized energetic field, which from this energetic field we could actively create or recreate how the universe came to be, an infinitely renewable energy, which continuously could be generated as long as it can sustain itself. Now, what might be a danger regarding nuclear energy? Well, you see, if nuclear energy's process, as I've just explained, is the condensing of energy, condensing the matter, condensing to such a state that upon the ignition of light energy within said condensed matter, you arrive at now a recreation of the overall energetic field of the universe. Which means if this nuclear energy point now collapses on itself, well, essentially you've just entered or created a black hole. Center close enough on Earth, because it's right here on Earth if we were to create this black hole, and it is so dense in state that it would essentially, upon its imploding or extinguishing, would result in pulling everything of said universe inside itself and then re-exploding it outwards, a pull and re-expansion. And from this you could essentially say that you would experience a new universe all of a sudden, which this is how the universe shifts in alternate universes. According to whichever singularity is the consciousness that holds said universe together as the entire energetic magnetic field of the universe, whoever's consciousness is responsible for said universe to be held together, essentially you would create a nucleation point where you re-implode everything into a smaller portion. how small of a portion am I talking here? How big is this black hole? How big is this point of fusion? Which, if it implodes, sucks everything back in on itself and then re-explodes it outwards within itself. Pick a point in a pixel you see in space, a molecule, a tiny little speck, as if the rest is sound, right? But pick one of those specks and now see that that's the entire black hole itself. That's how small it is. And it's heavy enough that it can collapse and re-expand the universe completely on its own. It is the densest energy form known within the universe, which from there can re-stabilize into a densened state known as matter. But in order to do so, you're essentially taking one universe externally and imploding it inwards to then re-expand it inside a much smaller space. So now when you look at all these other pixels around you, if you were within a closed space or even in darkness as an example, if you are in a dark room, open your eyes and see every single little molecular pixel. You could say that these individual pixels each are an alternate universe, complete, and that empty space is not empty. It is full of energy. And this empty space now that is full of energy are all individual molecules of black holes. Each individual speck, each individual point is a point of formulation from which matter can materialize energy into a lower dense enough state known as your body. You are essentially, if I may put this as simply as possible, we as humans have the ability to be God in existence within said universe by simply learning to open our minds. Now, let's not get ahead of ourselves. In my own understanding, even the Creator, from the created perspective, look at a parent, for example. Imagine your parent, you're made from them, you're their creation, but you are not the parent itself, you are an alternate creation. So how can you ever claim to be the parent or the creator themselves when you are created from said creator, but you are not the creator itself? You are now a new creation and a new creator. And in this analogy, we could essentially find that not just every single each chemical molecular pixel of matter, energy, but every single person is a universe in their own, formulating divinity within said universe, which as this divinity, this division in it, divinity, division in yourself. Within said division, you enter a complete multiverse, which at the center of it all is your experience. As a human, you are the center of your own universal experience. And as I've stated in previous videos, you are ruled by 3 kings. Anyways, folks, if you wish to find out what I'm talking about the Three Kings, I would suggest you watch the video regarding the seed. And then following behind, finding the video known as What is Sin? And you will begin the re-entering of the last couple videos which loop back around upon themselves. Thank you.